This is your weekly IUPTV News Bulletin, broadcast from Davis Hall. I'm Kane Reinhardt, sitting in for Sequoia Van Camp.
And I'm Taylor Schaefer, sitting in for Jackie Gillis. Today we will bring you stories that are relevant to IUP and the Indiana community.
A major traffic pattern change is planned for this week and will continue throughout late July. As part of the Route 119 Three Bridges project in Homer City and Center Township, PennDOT said motorists can expect all Route 119 traffic in the area project to be one lane each direction in the southbound lanes. This is part of a $15 million multi-year bridge and roadway project, which is being conducted by Swank Construction. PennDOT expects completion of this entire project by late fall 2019.
On Friday, the state of Michigan announced its plan to no longer supply free bottled water to the residents of Flint. The announcement comes 2 years after the program began and 4 years after excessively high lead levels were found in the city's water supply. The mayor of Flint, Karen Weaver, said she thinks the state should continue to provide free bottled water to the residents until all the lead in galvanized pipes have been replaced.
Texas has sent 250 National Guard troops to the southern border with Mexico in response to President Trump's recently announced plans to send the military there. The state already had 100 troops on the border as part of an initiative to combat drug trafficking.
The Communications, Media, and Instructional Technology PhD program gave my life direction. This program was perfect for me with a combination of research and media production. Hands-on courses gave me skills that I now pass on to my students. I use all three areas of the program, production, theory, and research, every day in my job as a college professor.
Learn how the CMIT PhD program can change your life. Visit iup.edu/CMIT.
Okay. Am I on? The past week has been a busy one for IUP. A series of lectures and discussions have been held in various places on campus, providing spaces and opportunities to share diverse viewpoints. Some of these talks also include guest speakers from out of town. We sent a team to cover some of these events.
One of the privileges of being in college is having the ability to learn about diverse opinions and to formulate and voice those of your own.
Of the famous Hazelwood School District versus Kuhlmeyer Supreme Court ruling, which directly affects the independence of student media at campuses, high school and college around the country.
Here at IUP, students are welcome to express their opinions both in class and across campus on topics ranging from politics to sexuality to religion. IUP has hosted a variety of on-campus events pertaining to free speech in the last week.
Okay, this is the Islamic Awareness Day, and it's sponsored by the Muslim Student Organization. A lot of people have misconceptions about Islam, about Muslims. There are a lot of Muslim students here on campus, so we want to kind of represent ourselves and introduce ourselves to people and give them the chance to talk to us and ask us questions.
In addition, students are welcome to contribute to the dialogue by bringing different organizations and speakers to campus. With over 1,000 chapters on college campuses across the U.S., Turning Point USA aims to promote the principles of free speech, free market capitalism, and limited government. Charlie Kirk is its founder and executive director. Kirk's visit has invited both praise and criticism from the IUP community. We spoke with Brandon Uhalik, the leader of Turning Point at IUP.
I had a chance to meet him at CPAC and we got talking, and then next thing you know, I decided to invite him to campus and he was all for it. He does campus tours every semester. He tries to hit each region. So fortunately for us, he chose to come to IUP. So I think it's an exciting thing, and it's something different from this campus. It's just good to hear a different viewpoint. You know, diversity of thought is very important. You know, you come to college and you should be able to hear what anyone has to say, because everyone has the right to have their voice be heard on campus.
Turning Point USA operates a professor watch list, which aggregates information on professors who have been reported as espousing radical agendas in the classroom. One can also submit a tip to the site if they know of a professor who is discriminating against their conservative views. Some students were displeased with the presence of the Turning Point CEO on campus. Alara Johnson was amongst those protesting the event.
So the whole professor's watch list, which is created under Turning Point USA, what it does is it puts professors at risk of hate crimes and future, employment, because it destroys their reputation online and anyone has access to these websites.
However, there are many who disagree with these sentiments.
Free speech is everything, folks. Free speech is not just being able to say what you want to say, but you sometimes have to hear things you don't want to hear. You can exit, you can walk out of the room, you can turn the channel off. That's also what free speech is. It's freedom of movement. You don't have to listen to everything. But by definition of a culture that embraces free speech, which is a majority of Western civilization, you're going to have to be exposed to things that make you uncomfortable.
Over 50 police and security officers were present to ensure the event went uninterrupted. Austin Gibson from the Student Government Association spoke to us about the important role that the First Amendment plays on campus.
They do have the First Amendment right to have people here, just like we have the right to protest. So I feel like to limit somebody's First Amendment would be then in turn eliminate our right. So they have a right to have them here. They have a right to speak what they want to speak. And we're not always going to agree with that, but I feel like it's our job to voice that opinion peacefully. You feel like equality is happening and you want to speak that voice, I say run for a position, take on that leadership positions, and try to be a voice for your people and who and stand up for your rights, because that's what you have. You have the right to use the First Amendment just like they do. So use it.
This is Sequoia Van Camp for IUPTV News.
On Saturday, the Office of International Education held Unity Day, an event intended to celebrate the cultural diversity of the campus and introduce students to other cultures around the world. Our reporter, David Shepard, who is also an international student, shared his firsthand experience attending this event.
On April 7th, IUP's international students come and showcase their cultures at the Unity Day event. At this event, the students bring food and showcase different dances from their vibrant cultures.
This is like a bubble milk tea.
Like a tea? Okay. The food that we are providing today are like bubble teas and kind of like a ground meat sauce. And typically people can just get these foods from the street from Taiwan. So I want people in at IUP or in America to try it.
This is Justin Fang, an international student from Taiwan, who has been involved in this event for the third year in a row.
The past Unity Days, we kind of just change it every year because we don't want people to come in every year and we are providing the same food. And the past year we have been providing brown sugar cake or popcorn chicken, and they are all street food. And today we are kind of just providing a kind of home flavor, home style food. So yeah.
Justine is not the only one with this purpose. Jaroslav Jolik from Slovakia has a similar idea on how they want to be known, through food and rich culture.
So the items I brought are some sweets, but also some appetizers, which are often used in Slovakia for parties, and kind of like when you have a small gathering, so people can come over and have little treats before the party or during the party. Okay, so Slovakia is a small country in the Eastern Europe, and I want to present my country because I want them to see that we have beautiful nature, we are part of the European Union, and we are a country which develops very fast, and of course I provided some treats.
Generally, more than 100 people came to the event. Some were students, while others came from the wider Indiana community.
No, we've been here several times. It's probably our 4th or 5th year coming. This is wonderful. We love the food, and we also love listening to all the people talk in their own dialects. And it's just nice to meet people and to understand them.
No, I went last year. I think it's wonderful, and it's like really busy and exciting, and I think it's just like a great chance for the town to, you know, really connect with each other and just experience different things.
This is not the first time. I'm a senior, so this is my 3rd time, I think. I didn't come junior year because I think I was in South Korea studying abroad, so 3rd time. I love this event. It's so international. If you have friends that are international, or if you want to like get to understand or know like the international aspect of the world, definitely come to Uni today. It's so friendly. Everyone is super friendly. The food is great. The performances are great, so I really love it.
Aside from food, many of them stay to watch dance performances from students who want to show more of their cultural elements. The Office of International Education believes that this annual event helps bring cultural awareness and understanding forward in the university. Tara Roach, the event coordinator, spoke about the event's positive aspects.
I think this year what's different than past years is we had a lot more students engaged, and so we had a lot new acts. This year we had a K-pop act that we never had before and a Japanese act. So it was nice to see cultures that we usually aren't represented at Uni Day be here this year. I think a big thing that's important is diversity and understanding where everyone comes from. We all have different cultures and different ethnicities, and it brings a unique aspect to our community. So I think it's important to celebrate those and celebrate the fact that we are different, and that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, but it's unique and it's special, and we should embrace it and really celebrate what everyone has to bring to the table.
With the world becoming ever more interconnected, it is still refreshing to see people experience new cultures, as well as making those cultures feel ever more welcome. This is David Shepherd for IUPTV News.
I fell in love with the campus, with the people, with my IUP life. See it for yourself. Visit us. Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Find your success.
Coming up, sports and health news. Stay tuned.
It's hard to explain. It just became home. There are hundreds of majors and programs, bachelor's degrees to PhDs, small classes and faculty that really get to know you. Amazing internships and everywhere, programs that help to find a job that is right for you. It's what IUP is about, a commitment to your success. See it for yourself. Visit us. Indiana University of Pennsylvania. Find your success.
Most people know exercise is an important part of a healthy lifestyle, but scientists are just now discovering how beneficial exercise may be. A new study shows that being active can protect your heart even if you have a family history of heart disease. Stanford University professor of medicine, Dr. Eric Ingelsson, wants people to know that genetic risk doesn't necessarily mean that the outcome is guaranteed. According to the results, people in this study who were the most fit had a 49% lower risk of developing heart problems. The American Heart Association recommends a minimum of 150 minutes a week of moderate aerobic exercise for adults.
All your professors, all of them, they know that all it takes is one dreamer with passion, one person, and they hope in each of you that you might be that one who makes a longer-lasting light bulb, who writes music for the ages, who reaches into the mind and discovers a new star and who can change the world of a fifth grader. We're gathered here to hope in you.
IUP track and field athletes won 6 events, hit 11 qualifying marks, and had a pair of top 6 teams finish in the Millersville Metrics on Saturday. One of the winners was Liz Capella from Bradford, who hit in NCAA Division II provisional height in the pole vault of 3.7 meters. Other individual winners included Heather Sternby in the 400 meters, Jada Wilson in the 400 hurdles, Derek Knoll in the 800 meters, Charles Wilson Adams in the high jump, and John Capitosti in the long jump. The men's team finished 4th out of 19 competing teams with 61 points, and the women's team finished 6th out of 18 with 46 points. Their next event is Bucknell's Bison's Invitational this weekend.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
We've decided to end today's broadcast with a story about the latest mainstage event from IUP Dance Theater. Last week, the students performed a dance adaptation of the popular, famous fairy tale, Princess and the Pea, with a little bit of humor involved. Our reporter, Courtney Deems, visited their rehearsal last week.
The sound of music can be heard as students practice dance in Zink Hall. For the second time this year, students in IUP Dance Theater will perform their mainstage performance for the public. This time, they will present a dance adaptation of the famous fairy tale, The Princess and the Pea.
How I prepare myself is, the whole company we do a warm-up. It's about a half hour. And as I'm going through the warm-up, I like to get my character in my head because it's a very prominent role and she's very spunky and outrageous sometimes. So throughout the warm-up, I like to think, oh, well, what can I do to heighten my energy and my mood? And then while I'm downstairs putting makeup on or my costume on, then I'll kind of get into character with all of my other company members, and it really helps, especially with being dance theater.
Preparing one single show requires a strenuous training, especially since these students are still taking other classes as well. Professor Joan Van Dyke, a professor in dance, describes how students in her class learned as well as developed her skills in order to be ready to perform.
So it is a long, slow process. However, once they reach that 7th year, they usually are ready to take on some major choreography. Our company is more modern based, but they still need the ballet foundation in order to perform and be performance ready. And then the interesting fact about performance is it takes about 1 hour to create 1 minute of choreography. It takes another hour to set it, and then it takes 60 hours of consecutive repetition to prepare it for stage. So that's 62 hours per minute of choreography. And so that's a lot of time to devote to 1 minute. And when you think of say a 3-act ballet, Sleeping Beauty, of 2.5 hours times that many minutes, that's a lot of time. So we spend most of our time here at the studio, and we certainly love it.
Compared to similar stories, there are quite a few surprises which you might not find in the original one. This made this performance special.
We actually have 3 princesses rather than just one that are all vying for the hand of Prince Pallid. And things just keep happening that are unpredictable to other characters in the show, so it just sets it up for unexpected comedy. What's fun for our dancers is we have not done a comedy in probably about 5 years. So this is a real challenge for them because they use their technical base of their movement as just a foundation. And then they have to build their characters on top of that and make risky choices. Comedy's all about risk, going beyond and outside the box. And they have to make those choices as they take their character through that scenario.
Another surprising fact is that one of their princesses is a male student, a freshman here at IUP.
Well, the role is very goofy, very ditzy, and it just involves a lot of just kind of like getting out of your head and having fun. So I think for me, getting ready for the character, I had to kind of get out of my head and just kind of like accept the fact that I'm gonna look goofy and like people are gonna laugh at me, but like it's fun because you just kind of get to goof around and kind of make a mockery of yourself, but also, you know, there are so many beautiful moments where, you know, you get to be a little seriouser.
The show that is geared for ages 2 to 70 will also expected to be interactive with the audience.
We've invited our audience. They're welcome to wear their favorite royal robes or outfits. We have asked them to leave their maces and their swords at home. But we would love to see the excitement for the fairy tale and the show and that whole mystical world of fairy tale bleed out into our audience and get them involved in that. When you're doing comedy, it's expected usually that there are going to be some points that the audience will respond with laughing, or especially children will make comments. So the dancers get to learn a new way of working with an audience, and you have to be able to read and feel your audience. If they're laughing, if they're clapping, you've got to hold and then go on with what you were doing. So it's a different timing aspect and a different interaction with the audience. When you're doing a straight concert, you perform, they clap, you perform, they clap. This time they have to pay close attention to what's happening in their audience so that they are staying interactive with their responses.
Sponsored by Levin Mattress, this classic fairy tale will be performed in the Zinc Dance Hall Theater on April 6th through the 8th. This is Courtney Deems reporting for IUPTV News.
Please stay tuned. We'll see you next week.